volume in the sense of inputs is what matters. Like inputs that actually matter. But a lot of people do a lot of things, a lot of activities, but not a lot of input. So I've talked about this before on my channel already. Is really you need to focus on activities that actually move the needle in your business. And usually it's not 100 things. It's usually just 1 or 3 things that you have to move. That should be the highest priority at that point in time to be done. And I'm learning a lot in my journey, and what I realize is complexity really destroys processes that don't need to be complex. They just really advanced people just do basic shit, a lot of basic shit. It's pretty much how they are able to be so quote unquote advanced. They don't make shit complicated. They just before, when they were a salesperson, they would provide the utmost value to one customer and over deliver on that one customer. And then when they start to scale, what happens is people start to overcomplicate shit, and what happens is that level of services start to kind of diminish. And what real advanced people do is that all they do is that they just repeat that process 100 more times. Same level of service, just 100 more times. It's not like the dumb people will do, or at least the people who think that they're advanced will do, is they'll end up creating really overly complex processes for things like this. Today on our sync up with my team, actually this was a really nice change because now our team is more than 15 people. There's 3 department heads and 1 COO. So on the meeting, there's about five people. 4 or 3 of them are managers. 1 of them is COO, and then 1 of it's me. I am kind of the conduit, I guess, of the meeting. I lead the meeting, and we kind of strategize from there on what to do. And kind of make the higher level decisions on a couple things. But what's important is that today we talked about pretty much the levels of service. So I talked about, okay, so there's five or so levels of service that exist. At the most basic level, it's literally what's called basic service. So so the first exercise was, what does a 3-star experience look like with Airbnb? And people gave out answers of a 3-star experience would look like the house wasn't really properly cleaned. There was still some trash left over from the previous guests. The door was left unlocked. You had to call and jump through a couple hoops to get Wi-Fi. You had to pay for Wi-Fi. You had to pay for parking. All these things that would probably result in even less than a 3-star service. But the point of it was to kind of describe, what does a basic level of service look like, and then what does the second level to that is, what does an expected level of service look like? So expected is this is kind of what I expect from renting out a place on Airbnb. The place is cleaned. There's a lockbox on the home, and the Wi-Fi. There's easy access to Wi-Fi. That's kind of just expected. So, and then you go into desired, which is things that are kind of not expected, but this is what I want to have. Maybe there's extra towels. Maybe there's towels placed in the pool area, so you don't have to go back inside while you're all wet. Go back inside, get the whole house all dirty or wet. You just have the towels right there. Or there would be just very simply I guess this is level 5, but just having a booklet of recommended places in the area. That's just desired. It's nice. Now, the level above that is surprising. So surprising is where you have shit where the Airbnb host greets you on the phone as soon as you arrive at the place. Maybe they have a Ring doorbell, that they get notified when you're there, and they give a quick greeting welcome to my place, and all things like that. Maybe they have the house is pre-cooled to a cool temperature if it's hot weather. If it's cold weather, then it's already preheated to maybe a warmer temperature. Maybe there's actual shampoo and there is conditioning and body soap in the shower, and maybe it comes pre-filled with a wine bottle and just some basic necessities in the fridge. Now, obviously, not everything I talk about here is actually feasible or like realistic. The point of the exercise is to think of all the ways to get to that level of service.